What's up, YouTube? So before we get started in this episode, on First Take, they're going to be talking about LeBron James and how some people are saying that he doesn't want to be coached. So let's see what they have to say about that.
PTI's Michael Wilbon saying Doc Rivers has been told LeBron does not want to be coached. Stephen A., you buying this? And if so, how big a problem is this for LeBron?
Here's what I'm buying. I'm buying one thing. I'm not buying another. I want to make sure everybody hears what I'm about to say. Michael Wilbon is not to be questioned. Michael Wilbon is one of, I know you see him on PTI every day, and I know you know his record as an outstanding columnist for many, many years and a mentor to a lot of us for the Washington Post. Michael Wilbon is as connected in the NBA as anyone you'll find. So when he says he has been told this and that Doc Rivers has been told this, don't question it. You can book it, because let me tell you something. He knows the people that talk to Doc Rivers because he's one of the people that talk to Doc Rivers. Now, having said all of that, even though what Mike Wilbon said is true, remember what he said. He said he knows this, meaning he knows that Doc Rivers has been told that. That does not mean that it's fair to LeBron. The disrespect has gotten ridiculous now. To sit up here and to say that LeBron James doesn't want to be coached. He is brilliant basketball-wise. He is.
Well, Stephen A., there's a reason why people are saying that. And let's just take this at face value. At face value, people are saying LeBron James doesn't want to be coached. At face value, you can see LeBron James, when he first got to L.A., how long did it take to talk to his head coach, Luke Walton? It took him forever to talk to his head coach. Just that alone, it doesn't look good. And then you can see from watching the games, when they're having a team huddle and Luke Walton's drawing up plays and talking to the team in the huddle, LeBron James is someplace else. You can see he doesn't want to be coached. He's someplace else doing something different than what the rest of the team and what the coach are doing. So at face value, you can see already that LeBron James doesn't want to be coached. When Luke Walton's from the sideline throwing in plays, you can see that LeBron James, he's ignoring him and he's doing what he wants to do. So it's not that hard to see or imagine that LeBron James does not want to be coached, let alone, we don't even know what's going on in-house. We don't know about the conversations and team meetings and all that, what's going on. He's completely disrespectful to Luke Walton. So for people to say that LeBron doesn't want to be coached, it's not that hard to see. It's not a stretch of the mind to imagine that he doesn't want to be coached, let alone his past record with other coaches that have been fired. So that's not a stretch to believe that. So let's keep going.
The basketball savant, okay? And as a result, there's an elevated level of basketball intellect that you would need to bring to the table to talk to LeBron intelligently about the sport of basketball, because he is just above most people when it comes to his understanding of the game. You got to remember what a coach is supposed to be. A coach is somebody that's not just there to tell you what to do. They want you to do things their way, and in most instances, they're supposed to be teaching you. Does LeBron know more than most coaches? You're damn right he does. You're damn right he does. But when you say that he doesn't receive instructions, you're not telling the whole story, because LeBron is very, very receptive to instructions that are worth being received. If it's not worth being received, what's the problem?
That's where there's a problem, Stephen A. You're supposed to listen to your coach and do what he says. That's why he's the head coach. That's why he calls the shots. Now, if it doesn't look good, he's sending in bad plays or something, well, that's something you need to talk to him after the game or during the game, or talk to management, talk to the owner, figure something out, talk to Magic. But you don't go against what your head coach says, because that crumbles the whole authority system there. It crumbles it. It's just not a good look to be disrespectful to your coach like that. There's a certain chain of command. There's a certain reason. If you want to get real, if you're in the military or in law enforcement and your CO, your commanding officer tells you to do something, you better do it. Because if not, people can get hurt. You can get hurt. People could die. You have to follow directions. Now, I know this is basketball, it's only sports, but the same thing applies. You do what the coach says. He knows what he's doing. That's why he's the head coach. And if you want to be a leader, you want to be this and that, then you have to suck it up and listen to somebody that you might not think is right. Jordan always listened to Phil Jackson, and so did Kobe, whether it was right or wrong. You have to have that certain level amount of respect and common courtesy. If you don't like it, talk to coach afterwards. Talk to management. But you don't disrespect your coach like that. Let's keep going.
Not like he's disrespecting you or whatever the case may be. The way folks are talking about LeBron right now is like LeBron went to Hollywood. I don't care about winning. He giving everybody the middle finger. Bump y'all. I don't give a...
Well, Stephen A., and you guys in YouTube land can look at this up. I do believe it's about 2 months ago, LeBron James, when he got to L.A., he says, I don't have anything to prove. I'm not chasing any rings. Anything that happens while I'm with the Lakers, it will just be icing on the cake. He said, I'm not chasing rings. He says, anything that happens after this with the Lakers, it will just be icing on the cake. He says he has nothing to prove. That doesn't sound like somebody who's planning on coming to L.A. and winning championships. He admitted to it. He admitted to it, Stephen A. So let's keep going.
Damn about y'all. Y'all don't matter. That's wrong. Greg Popovich would never talk about LeBron that way. Pat Riley would never talk about LeBron that way. The great coaches in NBA history would all want to coach LeBron James. And to talk about him like this, listen, you've heard me be critical, Max, and I'm coming to you right now. You heard me be critical about him, Will. You know that. But I would never do this. This is just, it's gotten to the point where it's open season on LeBron James because for the first time in 13 years, this brother ain't making the playoffs. And
that's not why, Stephen A. That's not why. If he doesn't make the playoffs, that's fine. As long as he gave 110%. If he doesn't make because he doesn't have any backup, that's fine. But at least he gave 110%. It's his actions that make everybody call into question LeBron James and what he's doing. LeBron James made his bed, and now he has to sleep in it for the next 3 years. So let's keep going.
Way people are pouring it on, it's gotten beyond ridiculous. It's so unfair what's happening to him right now.
You mentioned two names I want to bring up, and I'm going to get back to them: Pat Riley and Greg Popovich. First, let me say, LeBron, everything you said is right, Stephen A. He knows more than most of the coaches. He knows what he needs. He knows how to play. In most organizations, he becomes the de facto, at least, advisor to the GM and coach, at least. You got to run moves by him. You got to run the way you want to play by him, or you're not going to last. Most organizations. Now, I recall Kobe Bryant at a certain point in his career. Still a great player, but no longer the Kobe Bryant. It was tough to get players to play with him. Tough for the Lakers to get him, not just because they felt Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak were, or at least Jim Buss, was incompetent, which is what a lot was said, around the league. Not just because of that, but also because while Kobe was still great, putting up with his stuff, because we all have stuff, and the more power we have, the more we're able to kind of throw it out there. And Kobe had a lot of power because he was so great for so long, and he became kind of an institution in L.A. And to put up with Kobe's stuff at that point, people didn't want to do it. It wasn't worth.
So putting up with Kobe's stuff is different than putting up with LeBron James stuff. So Kobe's stuff was he wanted to work hard. He wanted to be the best. He wanted to have everything be done perfect, everything done right. So he was kind of hard to work with in that aspect. But Kobe always listened to the coach. Kobe was always there in huddles. Kobe wasn't just walk away from the game when there's 15 seconds left. Kobe wasn't ignoring the coach when the coach was sending plays. Okay, when there's a huddle and people are talking, Kobe wasn't sitting there on the bench, not listening to anybody. He wasn't just doing his own thing. LeBron does that. Okay, so dealing with LeBron stuff is a little bit more different than dealing with Kobe Bryant stuff. So let's keep going.
Worth it anymore. He wasn't great enough as a player anymore to deal with it, and that made it harder to attract stars to take the Lakers' money. And LeBron, I think what we're hearing now is getting toward that phase in his career. LeBron has stuff too. As good a dude as he is and the way he plays the right way and all that stuff, we all have it. And he has gotten powerful enough that it's pervasive in any organization, almost any organization that he's in. And so the message that's being received now is, you sure you want to deal with all LeBron stuff? Is he still worth it? And I think many are starting to say no, and even if he is, not for much longer, I don't want it. Now, you brought...
So what they're saying, what's really happening is from the top to the bottom, nobody wants to deal with LeBron. His players don't want to, his teammates don't want to deal with him. Nobody wants to play with him. And now the head coaches, the coaching staff doesn't want to deal with him. And LeBron thought he was going to come to LA and play a little bit of basketball and then transition over into Hollywood and make movies. If LeBron's not careful, not only would the LA Lakers and all the fans, LA base, not want to deal with him, but he won't make it in Hollywood once he retires. Because people will remember what he did and how he acted with the Lakers. And he'll get ran out of LA. You won't have a chance to make movies. You won't have a chance to do your thing in LA and be part of Beverly Hills and Hollywood and all that. You get ran out because people won't forget what you've done when you were playing, when you came here. You're a transplant. You're not from here. So let's keep going.
Popovich and Pat Riley. You know why I think that's significant? Doc Rivers is a great coach. Danny Ainge is a great GM, but that doesn't mean that LeBron James would work with Doc Rivers or Danny Ainge. The difference with Pat Riley and Greg Popovich is they've been executives and coaches. They are part of the institutions in which they work. And LeBron, when he went to Miami...
Doc Rivers.
What's that? No, not quite. Not the same way. Not quite the same way.
No, I'm saying Doc Rivers was an executive for the Clippers.
But he was a failed one. He was a failed executive. They needed to take that away from him in order for the Clippers to get good. That's the truth. He's a great coach, a failed executive. And Danny Ainge's never been a head coach. So Pat Riley, I think LeBron, we've seen him work in Miami. I think he'd work with the Spurs. I recommended he go to the Spurs because of Greg Popovich. But just because Doc Rivers is also a great coach does not mean that LeBron James would work with Doc Rivers.
But that's not the issue. The issue in question was what Wilbon was talking about in terms of LeBron not wanting to be coached. And so what I'm saying is it's open season on him. It's almost like LeBron has been so great and he has achieved so much success that people have been lying in wait. Remember, my criticisms of LeBron James were coming while he was winning. I was saying he's winning, but this has happened, but this has happened, but that has happened. But now you've got people that smiled in his face, didn't say a damn word, nothing. And then the second he can't make the postseason for the first time in 14 years, now you've got people coming out the wazoo with all of this stuff because they're saying stuff behind his back. They're smiling in his face. It's low, man.
Stephen A., people were doing that before he left Cleveland, okay? People were doing that when he first got to Miami, as a matter of fact. That's when people really started hating him. Once he jumped ship from Cleveland and went to Miami, people were really disliking LeBron James. And especially when he left Miami because things weren't going good and then went to Cleveland and tried to handpick his team and things weren't working out. And people were saying all this stuff before. Now it's just emphasized and people can really realize it because now he's not winning. So they're not winning and not going to the playoffs is just icing on the cake to what people were saying about LeBron's this, LeBron's that. Now it's all coming to light. So let's keep going.
Is he a coach killer, yes or no?
I never viewed him as a coach killer.
I have, and I don't think it's a bad thing.
Let's leave it here. I agree with you. I've been a LeBron critic.